Welcome. Good morning. It's time for motivation this morning. And our topic today, critical thinking as a key to unlocking real independence. I was talking about critical thinking and nation building. Mfonobong Inyanga is here with us, an author and, of course, a communication strategist. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Mike. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So,
yeah.
Now, by dictionary definition, critical thinking would mean objective thinking and analysis, evaluating the situation so as to make an informed an objective judgment,
exactly.
Right? You know, and it is something that is not so easy to, as much as people want to talk about
exactly.
it. You know, we can be psychological. We are affected a lot of things. We are subjective most of the time.
Exactly.
Psychological. Being entirely objective is almost
impossible.
It's almost impossible.
Exactly.
But then, to build a nation, it is needed. It is needed. How so? Especially in such perilous times that we find ourselves in. As a nation, as Nigeria, as a nation.
So fantastic question, Mike. You made my questions. The answer is so easy. The first thing we understand that our education system is not even wired for critical thinking.
At all.
It tells you to internalize, not interrogate. So if you ask questions, you are proud.
Very true. From look, everything, education,
so we
religion.
Exactly, religion is part of the conditioning.
Society.
Exactly, which is why I'm coming to where the colonial. They give us a model. Colonialism is not a date. It wasn't an event. It was a model. Do you understand? They replicated a model in Nigeria. So even the education system is wired for you not to think critically. It's an act of rebellion to even think critically in Nigeria. Because culture and religion, they reinforce the stereotype that if you ask the question, you're proud.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
I've watched a lot of movies, and also I've seen lectures outside the country where they encourage you to discuss.
Exactly.
No, there is no wrong answer.
Exactly.
When you're having a class.
Exactly.
You are trying to see how the person sees the world.
Perspective.
At the perspective, exactly. And but like you said, where do we start from? Like, it's the system as a whole, and that is where it is hard.
Yeah.
You change the system. It might take generations.
Exactly.
How does this happen?
So here's the first thing. I was the seminar I was speaking, and I said, when you see a bird in a cage, now the bird is safe, right? But that bird is not free. So when people say independence, I ask, before you assume Nigeria is independent, there are three levels of existence. We have dependent existence, where you're relying on someone or something else. We have independent, where you're self-sustaining. And when you have interdependent, where you collaborate. So ask, is Nigeria dependent based on these three functionalities? Is Nigeria dependent, independent, or interdependent? Don't answer that question, all right? I want you to think. Do you understand? Prove to me that you're independent by refining your own oil. Don't tell me you're independent. Prove it to me that you're independent by refining your own oil. Prove it to me that you can turn cocoa into chocolate. Exactly. Do you understand? So independence is not something it's not a title. That's one thing we make. Oh, I'm independent. Act like you're independent. Don't tell me you're an adult. Act like an adult. Do you understand? Because the evidence of my eyes and my ears is what I think. Do you understand? So when we say independence, it's how we think. Colonialism came, and first thing they stole from us was not our gold, our oil. No, they stole our identity, they stole our culture, and they stole our history. That's why someone is telling you that Mungo Park discovered River Niger. Do you understand? So once you don't know who you are, you don't know your identity, you cannot achieve destiny.
If we get into that topic,
do you understand?
What makes it so annoying, as it were,
exactly.
is that even we ourselves, we celebrate that level of mediocrity.
Exactly.
Where, you know, I've always not liked the idea of the Commonwealth, but that's a personal thing. That's off the side. That's off the side. Like, so now, as a system, as a person, individually, it might be hard to change a whole system that way. But as an individual, what can we do?
Ask questions.
Ask
questions, right? I'm very respectfully ask questions. The true sign of education is not to give you answers, give you questions. Because the more you learn, the more you want to learn. Do you understand? For example, now, religion has been weaponized. Simple because our theology and our ideology are not congruent. So in theology tells us that God can do everything. What God cannot do does not exist. But ideology suggests to you that what God will not do exists. God will never give you a couch, Mike. No matter, that is religion talking and say, God, give me a couch. God, what can you, God, what? That's religion. Because God will never give you a table.
The raw
God
materials
will give you furniture.
There.
Do you understand? God will not give you a great nation. God will not give you a great Nigeria. God will give you options. So you cannot be praying for great leaders. You are voting bad options. So when you say God will do it, God will not do anything.
Fact.
So prayer is not a master key. I said it the last time. People were like, hey, yeah. So I broke it down. I said you must learn to. There has to be a congruence between your theology and your ideology. Don't just outsource your responsibility. Very quickly, 3 things that make you not independent. First thing, you outsource your thinking. Do you understand? You're not a human being, a piece of meat. If you have such your thinking, you're not a human being. That's what slaves do. Slaves don't have a decision. Masters say do this and they do that. So until you can think for yourself, you're not a human being.
I remember, just hold there, number one, we're at number one.
Yeah.
I remember listening to some message somewhere, and it was that freedom can be harder to manage than
Exactly.
And it is harder to manage.
Exactly.
When you have to think for yourself.
And God bless you, Mike. You entered my second question, my second point. One of the signs of slavery is when you love your oppressors because you hate freedom. I mentioned, that's why I started at the beginning. I said a bird in a cage is safe, but it's not free. Some birds want to be in a cage rather than being free. So one of the signs of slavery is that you love your oppressors. Politicians treat you bad, but you still vote for them. You're in a relationship, the man slap you, say, well, that's how he shows me love. You love your oppressors, one of the signs of slavery. That's why when they got children of Israel, got to the, so let's go back to Egypt. I can't take this. Freedom is too hard to manage. Do you understand? So one of the signs of slavery, you love your oppressors. And that sign of slavery is when you produce by subsistence, not systems. America had to tell themselves that, yes, we were colonized by the British, but we are going to own our identity. There's American English and there's British English. There's American football, there's American everything. Do you understand? You are adopted. Fela, that's what, now why would they call him good? Fela said, teacher, don't teach me nonsense. Nakolo mentality. You are thinking like a slave, even though you say you are independent. So independence starts with the mind. It's not the day you throw party. It's the day you think critically.
There's someone I respect who put up something and said how when he was growing up in the career, he had an Igbo accent. And someone talked down on him because of that Igbo accent. Now, 20, 30 years later, he says, oh, now I am big, I don't have the Igbo accent again. He was trying to motivate, but I felt somehow like, what is wrong? Have you heard an Irish accent?
Does not apologize for being Irish. A French person does not apologize.
Have you heard an Italian speak English?
Do you understand?
Have you heard a French speak English?
Colo mentality.
I mean, you would want to aspire to do that. What is wrong? An accent is not a measure of intelligence. What is wrong with the Igbo accent?
God bless you again. Another sign of slavery is that when you think that local means inferior. You're in my head right now, Mike. Another sign of slavery when you think local is inferior. No. What you call we are speaking, this is slavery talking. Do you understand? Because if not for slavery, I would not be speaking English.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So what makes you feel that something abroad is superior? It's slave mentality. So you say, no, I must wear a certain brand, not an actual be from Aduke down the road. Do you understand? What you call local is somebody else superior, somebody else is local. Do you understand? What you say, oh, this is the best thing to slide, but somebody else is local. So one of the signs, you must learn to appreciate your own because what they taught us is to hate our own. So you say, I want to identify by that standard. Do you understand? When I speak Pidgin, people say, no, you are too boo. I say, no, that's my language. That's the closest thing. So you need to embrace yourself. Never, never outsource your thinking. That's how independence starts. Not thinking, oh, the world says COVID is over, Nigeria says COVID is over. The world says this, Nigeria is saying, where are our professors? Where are our geniuses? Do you understand?
Mfonobong, I'm happy that you're going to be here with us for the whole month of October.
All months.
We're going
Which is my birthday month anyway.
Oh, wonderful. We'll celebrate your birthday here. We'll continue on this. Wonderful. By the way, across this month, Mfonobong will be giving this book, a lovely book here. It says, Hope is not a strategy, fate is not a business model. So we'll give it to our listeners. You hit us up on social media. We'll put this video on social media and we'll let you know how you can win. Wonderful book, I must say. Mfonobong, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much, Mike.
I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Definitely. Thank you so much.